guess that's your ass. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, it's kind of weird that it took 16 years, but I mean, it was never supposed to be permanent anyway. It's literally in the name, temporary protected status. And the thing about the temporary protected status was it was literally supposed to help out people, not just Haitians, but pretty much everyone. I think they're just ones that got it, they got first, right? And the temporary protected status was created because Congress recognized that sometimes conditions in another country become so dangerous that it will be unsafe or unreasonable to send people back there, which makes a lot of sense. Which is why I don't understand how you can send some Venezuelans back to Venezuela, but that's neither here nor there. Now I know that was established on the Immigration Act in the 90s. Now, Congress gave the executive branch the authority to temporarily protect people who were already in the United States if their home country experienced one of the three major situations: armed conflict, natural disasters, and extraordinary and temporary conditions, which Haiti has gone through at least two of these things. So, and the reason why Haiti was first designated for the TPS was in 2010. Remember, they had that badass earthquake. I don't know if y'all remember that, John, but that earthquake was crazy. I remember the news was talking about it. I remember seeing footage, buildings going down, whole houses, establishments, whatever. I thought that earthquake was going to separate Haiti and the Dominican Republic. That's how bad that is. I think it was like a 7.0 or some shit like that. It was crazy. And I think that earthquake did unfortunately take out like 200 to 300,000 people, left a million of them homeless, destroyed much of the country's infrastructure, the hospitals, the government buildings, everything. That earthquake was on some ish I ain't never seen before. And the U.S. government concluded that Haiti was not capable of safely receiving large numbers of returning nationals. So it did keep getting extended. It was supposed to be temporary. They continued to face those crises. So, the cholera outbreak, political instability, the assassination of Moise in 2021, the 2021 Haiti earthquake, which was just insane. It was just those heavily armed gangs through all of this, severe shortages of food, and I guess it just kept getting pushed. It kept getting extended. It kept getting extended, and that the whole reason this even happened was because of that earthquake. But then Haiti just kept going down after that, and because of these conditions persisted, multiple presidential administrations, both Republican and Democratic, extended. So the Republicans even extended it, excuse me, to certain degrees. But why is it ending now? The current administration argues the TPS was never intended to become a long term immigration status, which is fair. That's why it's called temporary protected status. Its position is that the executive branch has the authority to determine when a country no longer qualifies or when it is appropriate to end the designation, even if conditions remain difficult. Critics respond that Haiti is experiencing some of the worst security conditions in modern history and argue that returning large numbers of people now would be dangerous. And I do think that might be the case. I know that gang stuff over there in Haiti ain't no joke. 300,000 people, I think, getting sent back. Some of them might end up gone when they go home. I ain't gonna hold you. So, it is a large debate, but I think the Supreme Court ultimately said, look, y'all got to get up out of here. Y'all got to get up out of here. And it is what it is. Now, how I'm looking at this is I think they did what they thought was right at the time. I don't particularly like it. I don't particularly love it. But this should be another sign that y'all should start listening to black people when y'all roll up into the country. But instead, y'all didn't. Y'all decided y'all wanted to line up with white people because, oh, the white men, and y'all wanted to be going through all the ups and downs, da da da, whatever. And now this is where it's at. I mean, I don't get how Haitians even were so up the white man's behind the way they did y'all during the AIDS epidemic. Because they was saying gay Haitian men were the top people that had it. I mean, they were finding it in y'all a lot, but they had to blame it on somebody, and y'all was the ones catching the smoke. It's crazy. I'm looking at this whole situation, and I'm just like, bruh, y'all literally was riding the white man's meat for years. trying to make these butt clowns happy. And now y'all no, y'all one of the first ones getting sent up out of here. Yeah, we sent some of the Spanish people, this and third. Now it's the Haitian people. Y'all getting up out of here. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some Asian immigrants going behind y'all. But again, y'all done been to college over here. Y'all done made money over here. Y'all done just that and the third. I don't understand. Now, the very disingenuous argument for me would be, why can't y'all go make y'all country better? And I do think it's a little disingenuous, but I also do think that if y'all were so much better than us, better than African Americans, going over to your country and fixing it ain't it don't sound too impossible. It ain't that many of y'all, but what do I know? Then you got people on TikTok. Oh, it's 20 million Haitians in America. This, that, and the third. It ain't nowhere near 20 million, y'all. Ain't nowhere near. The goofiness that takes place on the internet when it comes to the diaspora, and I knew this would eventually come around the corner. FBAs versus the diaspora, because it just needed to happen. We was laying it. We was taking everything lying down for unity and empowerment, and hopefully we could come together. But y'all came over here and acted like y'all ain't had to do with us. So unfortunately, African Americans are like, hey, this ain't our problem. This ain't none of our business. Same thing with the Hispanics last year when they was getting sent up out of here with ICE and everything still going on this year. Black people like, look, we ain't trying to hear all that because y'all shouldn't have been talking trash about us. Y'all shouldn't be treating us some type of way. This is one for your ass. And I think Haitians are no different from that than all the Caribbeans. So I'm gonna go down some more stuff real quick. So, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled on June 25th that the Trump administration can move forward with ending the temporary protected status for Haiti. There's probably other countries behind that too. The court held that federal courts generally cannot block or review the executive branch's decision to terminate TPS, removing the legal barriers that had kept the program in place during litigation. So that literally can't be blocked. That is literally, the Supreme Court said, hell no, is going through. It is what it is. And about 350,000 Haitians in the United States are affected by this. That is over a quarter of a million. That's a lot of people. And many have lived in the U.S. legally for years, working, paying taxes, and raising families under the TPS, because that was not what you were supposed to be over here doing. I mean, you could make some bread. We ain't gonna say don't make no money. Make that money. But then you over here, you done anchored down ship, and yeah, unfortunately, you know, they trying to play cleanup on us. Too many people of color over here, not enough whites. The USCIS issued a short administrative extension of employment authorization through July 10th, 2026. This is mainly to give employers and the government time to transition after the court's decision. It is not a long term extension of TPS itself. Yeah, exactly. They giving the businesses time to figure out what they gonna do with them Haitian workers. Just bring in some niggas or bring in more whites. We'll have to wait to see. Now, the TPS was always intended to be temporary, not permanent, so I don't give a damn what nobody says. It's in the name. Temporary protected status means you were never supposed to be over here for 110, 150 years. You was over here until we decided it was time for you to go back home. And it looks like y'all effed around and found out. But again, a lot of things kept happening where they kept pushing it back, but now they're saying no, go back home. See you when we see you. You can come visit and put some of that money back up in here, but we could care less. Congress, not the executive branch, should decide if people should receive permanent legal status. And immigration laws should be enforced consistently. And I do think so. I still think America, out of a lot of other countries, we are the most lenient with some of our immigration stuff. There's just too many people over here, not legal. They just snuck up in here, then popped out some babies, this, that, and third, and now they can just lock up in here. Now, Haiti remains extremely dangerous because of gang violence, political instability, and humanitarian crisis. I do agree with that. I do think Haiti's a little too dangerous to be sending people back over there like, hey man, figure it out. Because you're pretty much asking for blood to be shed all across that country. And I wouldn't be surprised if it somehow spread into the Dominican Republic because they're not that far from each other. Many TPS holders have been in the U.S. for over a decade with American born children, homes, and careers. Again, this was a temporary protected status. This was not a come over here, build you a family type thing and live over here, unless you was going to try to. But you were under TPS, which means you were never supposed to stay over here forever. So you might have to slide, but your kids, they might be stuck here in America unless they want to go with you. It is what it is. And sending large numbers of people back now could put lives at risk and hurt industries in the U.S. that rely on their labor, such as healthcare, construction, and hospitality. And that is where the American people come in. That is where the American people say, you know what, buck this, I'm about to go get me a job. They done got rid of the Spanish, they done got rid of the Haitians, they done got rid of blah, 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 whatever. Get your ass up, go fill out for these positions, and get these jobs. Y'all complain it's hard to find a job, or they just opened up a hell of a lot of them. So I expect to see the American workforce in full swing with mostly Americans if this thing keeps going down the door within the decade. Now, what happens next is we don't know, because for Haitians TPS holders, the options generally include qualifying for another lawful immigration status, applying for asylum or another humanitarian protection if possible, or leaving the United States. And immigration attorneys are encouraging anyone affected to seek legal advice quickly because each person's circumstances are different. And it's not particularly certain that TPS could continue. Some constitutional claims are still working in their way through lower courts. Congress could pass legislation extending TPS or creating a pathway to permanent residence. There is bipartisan support from some lawmakers, including some Republicans from states with large Haitian populations, to preserve protections because of Haiti's current conditions. So we don't know exactly what's going to come from it. I don't think it's a guarantee send home. If it is, like I said, my piece on it is y'all should have lined up with African Americans like we were trying to tell y'all, just like other people in the diaspora said y'all want to shit on us and all this other stuff. And I really don't like the way y'all try to like keep yourselves away from everybody else. Like, you know, y'all don't have to be social, but damn, when black people try to talk to you, don't sit here and be like, oh, well, no, we're not going to talk to you. Well, don't ask us to care or for help when y'all get sent home. So it's a lot going on in America in 2026. A lot going on with the Supreme Court, the president, Congress, everybody playing tug of war with each other. But this country is going to be a different country, I'd say, by the time Trump is out of office. He's still got another 2 years, technically. Well, technically, a year and some change. He's going January 2028. So he's got a year and a half to still do whatever he got to do to get stuff, whatever he thinks it needs to be. So if people would just come over here and listen to black people, I think y'all might actually have a better chance because African Americans, for FBAs, we are a very inconvenient population to fuck with. We got laws, policies, and shit over here that y'all don't even have. So, with that being said, it is unfortunate. It is an unfortunate situation, but it is temporary. It's in the name. It is legitimately in the name. So that means y'all knew what this was and I thought it was untouchable. But let me know how y'all feel down below. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see y'all on the next one.